Hello there, and welcome back to Minecraft, to infinity and beyond. Okay, that's not the name of the mod pack, but it should be. Anyway, since we last left off, I added a second layer to our tree farm. It's a lot like the first layer, but it's higher up. So the idea going into this was I wanted to have a passive way to generate silver, and I think the easiest way still for us to do that is just a stack of logs into the trade station. We get 1 silver, and you would think by looking at this that it must be working. However, there was one small issue that I ran into. Okay, so I was thinking, first layer here, gonna generate the same as it was before. It's gonna just run the logs downstairs into the kinetic mechanism, feeding, so those can keep getting made, all that good stuff. And then any of the logs that we generate off of the second floor, we can just filter those off as it's going down the chutes here, and they'll feed into the trade station. The thing that I didn't account for in making this is that because I made this whole thing connected with radial chassis, it counts the entire thing as one single machine. Therefore, wherever the logs are cut down, bottom or top, it doesn't really care. It just kind of throws it out randomly, mostly to the thing on the bottom, the portable storage interface. And so therefore pretty much all the logs are still going downstairs, and it was just feeding more logs. And I was like, this is not the way that I envisioned this thing. I should have built this differently, but I didn't build it differently. And so what I've done now is it's just all the logs are going into there. It's fine. We have like 500 stacks of logs downstairs, so they're not gonna run out anytime soon. I think we'll be fine since they're getting multiplied to planks, then multiplied to slab. It'll be chill. So we now just have wood and more of it going into making silver so that we can do things later on, like perhaps trade for unbreakable magnets or a saw. I did realize that for a while our kinetic mechanisms weren't actually producing because I went through all the saws that were in the drawers, so they were just sitting there, and it took me a while to notice. So an unbreakable saw might not be the worst idea. Anyway, other than adding that in between episodes, I just did a little bit more beautification. I had a lot of torches that were still sitting around giving light, and I decided to get rid of those, put down an additional mega torch so that we don't have to deal with mobs, just being super safe, and then put more lights, make it all more seamless and factory looking and all that good stuff and things. This thing still cruising along just fine. We're up to 260. These are 16 stacks, not 64, so a little bit less than it might appear. But I figure today, because if all goes according to plan, we should be completing chapter 3. I was thinking maybe a brief recap of the systems going into it. So for chapter 3, base ingredients, sticks, stone, and sand. For sticks, we already had a huge backlog here from the tree farm. We should actually be generating more sticks, which was another benefit of generating more trees, because we did run out of the sticks in our buffer, and now we're just waiting for more to generate in order to be able to get more of the crushing wheels to crush in the later step we'll get to in a moment. Fortunately, we also have the stone component going back from chapter 1. That's just coming from the drills up at the bottom. And then for sand, we did have to make a new setup. Here in the crushing wheel room, we have more sand generating than all the beaches in the world could ever hope to use. They're all coming from the igneous extruders, then that gets milled down, thrown into the crushing wheels from the gravel that results, and we get sand outputting very, very, very rapidly and way more than we could ever consume, and that's why we have a voiding drawer over here, so that takes care of this first set. Now the sticks and the stones, they don't break my bones. Instead, they come on over here to the mechanical crafter setup, where they keep crafting crushing wheels that get crushed in the crushing wheels, and then that makes the singularities. So the sand and the hand, we'll get back to in just a moment, because first we gotta go through our fern processing unit, the FPU, as it's known in the biz. So we've got our slimy ferns that were just found naturally in the slime outposts throughout the world, and they each process into a different resource: gunpowder, ender dust, and the bone meal. So you take a fern and you knife it on top of the deployer, and then it turns into 2 leaves. You can process the leaf back into a fern over in the purple fire over there, and then you can run the other one off into a millstone, and then the resultant thing into the campfire, and then that makes the gunpowder, the bone meal, and the ender dust, which then gets routed out into these different drawers. Now we can get back to the sand and the hand, which is also picking up the gunpowder we're generating from the ferns and putting it into these beautifully filtered funnels into the crafters on the other side, so that it's just constantly crafting TNT over and over, which drops, gets picked up by a vacuumulator on top, and then pushed into this deployer here, which then constantly makes it explode, damaging my armor, causing me to have to eat a lot. But don't worry, I have a clever on-off switch down here so that we can then take a closer look over here where we have the ender dust, and we also have the singularities that drop onto the pressure plates here, which are actually what allow the TNT to activate each time. So the TNT won't go off unless we have both of these resources falling onto the pressure plates and igniting it with an AND gate. Now I can turn it back on, and every time that the TNT goes kaboom, those two ingredients combine into into the quantum entangled singularities that run into our press over here, combining with pink dye, which is where our bone meal comes in from the fern setup. Our bone meal grows more peonies. No particular reason on the peonies. It was just the flower that was sitting up top. Any 2-block tall flower will do. That gets processed into the pink dye, combining with the singularity to make chromatic singularities, which are then crushed in the crushing wheels, getting turned into various colors of paintballs. All of the paintballs have to process into magenta, so they go through the deployer into the item drain setup down there. And then finally, all our magenta paintballs get put into the crafters, where 4 of them combine into the chromatic compound, which today we just need to press and process and beacon into the final Invar devices and stuff like that. So we're on the home stretch. Make sure to like the video for the recap, which hopefully was good and you understood it and got you caught up and stuff like that. So our next step is we've got to put the beacon to use that we were able to get last time. So we're gonna need a little bit more space here. Why don't we put that hammer to use here, dude? God, I love just using that hammer. It's so satisfying, except when we run into dirt and then it's not satisfying anymore because the dirt just gets in the way. I don't know if I need to like make it this tall. I feel like it's probably just gonna end up going through our factory blocks and our iron supply like a lot more than it actually needs to if I'm gonna make the ceilings this high, but also high ceilings are kind of nice. So I'm a little bit torn, but we're gonna do a beacon setup. And I have learned that you can't just run the conveyor belt with the chromatic compound with a beacon beam going through it. It won't convert that way. It has to actually be loose in item form, but that's also how the items just go flying back up into the sky. So I'm gonna probably just put a roof over it and then vacuumulate in order for them to get picked up so they don't just go flying somewhere. The only downside of this hammer is that I don't have fortune on it, so I'm like not getting as many drops from any of the ore pockets that I pick up, but you know, I guess it's a pretty small price to pay for the speed at which I'm able to clear out areas. Oh, the mega torch that I made in between episodes, I just put under that staircase over there, so we're covered for another 64 block radius from here, so don't have to worry about any mobs actually spawning. Just, ooh, randomium. Here we go. What's it gonna be? What was that? End random, it dropped more of itself. Okay, so if I break end randomium, does it have the same effect? Hey, we got something new. What's that? Cracked gold ore bricks. They look cool. I wonder how you make them. I can't worry about it for now. Okay, so this we can use as our beacon making area, and I am gonna have to mine up to the surface. I gotta do just a slight rearrangement here for powering the mechanical crafters. You'll see why in just a moment. So I think if we just go shaft there, and then we move the gearbox over by 1, then we have cogwheel there. The idea is I just wanted this cogwheel spinning the opposite direction. So, oh frick. Why have you started doing, why are you eating? Why is it eating? Stop eating. What? No, you shouldn't be going too fast. Frick, I had you perfect. Everything was fine. It was great. Now it's just yeeting. They're not even going in. What happened to you? Oh no, dude. Oh no, I really screwed things up. Oh God. Okay, I need you to fix. Oh God, but I can't do. Holy heck, I didn't realize that this was such a delicate situation. Now, if we're talking chromatic singularities, that's a chromatic singularity over there. Okay, great. So now that that crisis has been averted, we're exporting magenta properly out of everything, and I should be able to send this back up to speed of 8, right? Without fear of any more yeeting off the end. Are we good? Okay, we're good. So what I wanted to do here, I think I even put a shaft in front of this and it will not impede with the mechanical crafters. So I basically just want to have this yeeting into the beacon beam. Simple as that. Actually, I'm moving this away just a little bit because I don't want to ever have another block block that conveyor belt over there and thus demolish everything I have worked so hard to achieve. That would be the opposite of ideal. That would be not ideal. So there we go. And then we put down the beacon here, and then things are gonna yeet off the end of this into the beacon beam, go flying up into the air. So we're gonna have to put some like glass over the top here. It's a question of like how much glass and on what level do we put it, I guess. Let's just we'll put the glass up here, right? And then basically we can vacuum vacuumulate. They have a vacuumulator up here, and then we're lifting things up, bringing them back up, which is good that I just dug out this whole entire area down low if we're then pulling things back up. Like the one time that I'm ready for everything to stay low, I may have accidentally designed something that goes back up, but I suppose we'll see. I might as well just clear out that whole thing. Okay, so I suppose now we must dig up to the surface right here. Let there be lights. Okay, beautiful. And now grab a piece of, oh wait, we already got the beam. We don't even need to activate the thing. Although if I wanted to activate, then I could have particles surrounding me forever and always. Okay, so let's see. Do I want to build like maybe a catch over here? Because what's gonna happen, right? They get thrown in and they're gonna yeet off in this direction. But in this case, I'm gonna catch it. Let me just double check and then I can throw the vacuumulator in, okay? Let's see. So we grab one and we yeet. Yeah, perfect, dude. All right, that'll work. And so we put I just love the fact that the vacuumulators do not require power. Please never change that in a patch. Pretty please. I need a filter. Cool. This vacuumulator already had a filter in it, but it's okay. Now we're prepared for the next time. It's always good to have additional filters, right? So this will now export onto another belt that's gonna pass under the mechanical press in the same exact setup, basically, that we have over in the first room that we set up. So I guess let's just bring some drive over to here in order to get this thing spinning, hopefully, first try in the right direction, right? It's always a bit of a toss-up. It's going in the right direction. There we go. So we do that, and then we can just have the mechanical press sitting in the center of the thing. One of these days, I'll learn how to properly put down create machines in the correct orientation. But until then, I'll keep fumbling around forever. I'm a little worried this thing is going to be running again at like 1,000 stress units if I attach it here. So I'm going to go get another rotation speed controller, and then we can adjust it up and down as needed if it ends up being a choke point. I don't know what the choke point is going to be for chapter 3. I do have a feeling we can generate more of the chapter 3 mechanisms quicker than even chapter 2, potentially. I might be wrong, but we'll see. Here we go, rotation speed controller. I'm trying to put these to use more often. I feel like I haven't used them enough despite having access to them for quite a while, but that way I can just run power into here, and then I should be able to put like the input right there, and then we cog on top of it, and that should be lined up perfectly with that. Except that needs to be a vertical gearbox. But you know, other than that, I had the whole idea right. I was like, what? I thought I had this so perfect, and then there we go. Beautiful. So that's only gonna be 128 stress units. Obviously like a little bit slow, but we can just, you know, bring it up a little bit so that it's quicker. And then from there, if we check the whole process, the next step after it gets smushed is we need to turn it into the radiant induction coil, which is just single mechanical crafter, just like really super duper easy. Now I don't know, I don't think I can just route it right into the back. I think I have to like hopper probably. So we should be able to do shoot here and then into mechanical crafter below. And then I think let's point it into a drawer over here. And that should probably take care of most of the whole thing. And then I can just get a gearbox, a vertical gearbox this time pointing out of there. And then another vertical gearbox pointing down there. Get a cogwheel. Now the mechanical crafter is powered. And are we good? All right, a moment of truth. I should just be able to place the funnel here, right? And then, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna pick stuff up that I don't want to, but that's fine. Let me out. I'm stuck. Help. God dang it. God dang it. Wait. Okay, we're good. We're good to go there. So is that, oh yeah, I need to place another funnel here. That's probably a good idea. And then, yeah, we're gonna need to up that speed just a little bit. 768, there we go. And then it's getting crafted, and there we go. Radiant induction coils. Bro, we got them going. Okay, that is done. I have it in my inventory, man. I swear. Oh, this thing needs to, I got it. I got light. We got that done. Now I need to grab one of the radiant sheets off of the conveyor belt there. Let me have it. There we go. That's done. And then we got the induction coil. Yo, let's go. Easy. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to have a storage upgrade on. Actually, we might not need to. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna put that there for now. We can always retrieve it later, but yeah, this is fancy. Look at this thing. Bro, it is just fireworks going off non-stop here. Oh my God, this is crazy. I do happen to think it's gonna go through these quicker than they're generating, but still, I feel like the speed at which we're gonna be generating these radiant induction coils, which stack to 32 at least. It's not 64 like I hope, but at least it's 64, or at least it's 32. So I feel like we're gonna be generating these a lot quicker than we generate the electron tubes over in chapter 2. That's why I think we might be able to accumulate these mechanisms quicker than some of the other stuff. So, all right, now we just need to get the old familiar triple deployer setup, and we got it. Okay, so we're gonna have the same deployer setup for the sequence assembly for the final step of the process here that we have for the precision mechanisms in chapter 2, the kinetic mechanisms in chapter 1. The difference is I'm not gonna automatically send the precision mechanisms over here to be processed into the inductive mechanisms, because I think the rate at which we're generating these, even though we're still going through the buffer, it generates pretty quickly. I think we may generate the inductive mechanisms faster than our precision, and therefore we might actually run out of the precision mechanisms if I'm sending them all over here manually. So instead, what I'm gonna do is, at least for now, until it is determined I have to do it differently, I'm gonna just manually grab stacks, feed them in here to be processed, and then, we get into chapter 4 and we see how crazy things are gonna get, then we can adjust from there. All right, so let's get this connected. So this is gonna send up the radiant induction coils, and it's gonna input into the chest here, and then fill up the deployers. Also, we have another cog that I put down there to power our, I'm just gonna navigate around the other side. It's powering the input for all of our deployers here. And then also, I just want to check which way that was going to be spinning because I have it going down from the other side. So we're going to need to do one more gearbox there just to reverse. And then that's going to be going in the right direction. And then we can connect that to that. And finally, this will pull out of there. And I hope that won't actually interfere with the process, but this should give us the inductive mechanisms. The last thing I have to do is supply this here with the magnet that's used to process. That doesn't look like the right one. What's it called? What is this called? Arming the deployer. It's not a magnet. It's a chromatic resonator, as it is known, which is not cheap necessarily to make. Like, we have these resources, but Ruby, only 6 left, and Sapphire, also only 6 left. I'm gonna wanna make this one not break. But for the time being, let's hand it over to you. Cool. It's kind of a cool looking thing. And then all we have to do is, I think it's just put the funnel onto here, and there we go. It's gonna start feeding in. Okay, once that gets to a stack, then it'll start throwing into here. I realize this is probably operating unnecessarily fast. We could tone this down a bit and reduce the stress load. I'm unnecessarily using a lot of stress, and it's stressing me out thinking about it, and then I could much more efficiently do everything, but whatever. And now finally, while we wait for that to load up, I can just run over here, right? I can, grab some precision mechanisms, and then I can go back over to here, throw them into the chest. And yes, again, maybe we'll end up automatically sending them over, but bada bing, bada boom. Look at it go, look at it go. Look at our inductive mechanisms popping off here, dude. All right. I mean, it looks really satisfying when you have it going this quickly. It's just not a sustainable rate, but I do hope that this thing lasts for a while, given its cost. But yeah, there we go. We're getting our inductive mechanisms, and now we only actually need 8 of them, right? In order to be able to make our first Invar machine. Let me lock these drawers all here really quick, just to be safe. So now we have our Invar. We just need to make, let's see, Invar machine, Invar casing, boom. Make a few of those using our initial Invar. That was a mistake. I didn't want to do that. Now I don't have enough Invar left over in order to, I do. We're good. All right, I generated it extra. Oh, I was like, oh no, I'm an idiot. And then it's just that, 2 Invar gears. And now we can make ourselves the induction smelter. Invar machine with the Invar gears. This is easy, right? That's good to go. And then just need a blast furnace, which hopefully we have some leftovers ready to go. Smooth stone stone. What are you? No, I'm one smooth stone shy. I can't believe this has happened. Just kidding, I'm not one smooth stone shy. I just forgot to retrieve some of the extras that I had here from the last blast furnace that I made. Wait a minute, I don't need that blast furnace anymore. Now you just use the one I already had. Oh yeah, also just brief call out here. I changed the tree farm to be powered with a rotation speed controller as well, just, you know, for more flexibility. It's kind of annoying to try to retrofit things because like you do have to change the space constraints of the input shaft. But anyway, it's just, that's the whole thing. Yeah, let me just grab the blast furnace and then, oh frick, round and round it goes. God, frick. It's like hitting one of those jackpot machines at the arcade, except why am I so bad at this? I'm like a cat trying to hit the laser. Oh my God. Got it. Guys, I might be getting old. Twitter thinks I'm under 18 and won't let me do subscription revenue on there, but I think I might be getting old. Don't take me to an arcade ever. I won't win the prize for you. All right, induction smelter. There we have it. So I am gonna I'm gonna start with the Stirling Dynamo and feed it with, you know, charcoal or something like that, just the coal for now. But this is an easier way of us to get the Invar, which still has to be processed via the annoying system. But look at this, 3 stacks. We're popping off. How's it going down here? There's still a backlog to go through. Let's go, dude. Let's go. I mean, that's going to be enough for quite a few Invar machines. That said, I don't know how much we're going to need to have on backlog for chapter 4. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If I need to conveyor route over here so I can AFK for many, many nights in order to accumulate the resources that are necessary, well, we'll see. So this is the recipe that we're looking at here. Just iron and nickel going to 2 unprocessed. So I'm hoping, please configure in the right direction. There we go, thank you. I'm gonna have to hook this up probably to another source of lava because our current lava source is like just barely perfectly break even. So I'm gonna have to put just more heck bark trees up here and do kind of another setup. But for now, let's do that. Let's see if this thing can get powered. And then we can toss in some iron and some nickel. I don't even think we need to do that much to start with. Let's just do like 6 instances, actually maybe even less. Otherwise we're gonna back up this whole system here, which is kind of embarrassing, but okay, there we go. I don't know if it will export via the hopper. We're gonna find out. Fingers crossed it works that way and we don't have to do some other setup. Moment of truth. It does export, and then there we go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, well, we know it's in this chest and it'll be with completed Invar, and then we can use it to make more of the Invar casings and more of the fancy machines. So let's take a quick look at all the things that the Invar machines allow us to do. The blast chiller, the pyrolyzer, the fluid encapsulator, the induction smelter, reagent extractor, alchemic imbuer, redstone furnace. Ooh, redstone furnace is good. Centrifugal separator, fractioning still, pulverizer, phytogenic insulator for growing crops, magma crucible, sequential fabricator, and a cable facade. Bro, actually, phytogenic, where is it? Yeah, phytogenic insulator might actually be really huge. If we want to go into the farming specification here, we can grow basically any crop and just keep on exporting. That could be like, screw our tree setup. The phytogenic might be the way to go here. All right, so that's good. Done did it. Now those are gonna go through. It's not backlogging yet. And yeah, we're getting ourselves Invar. Meanwhile, the fireworks show is, Is it going a little bit too fast? It's too much for that accumulator. It can't pick up quickly enough. Oh God. Actually, wait. No, I should have done a drawer there. I can fix this. Oh dear. I already broke the magnet. Oh God. Yeah, we're gonna need an unbreakable one like now. All right, no panic at all. After an overflow of 1,000+ refined radiance, I again come to the conclusion that rotation speed controllers are our friend. So there we go. Now this will operate much more smoothly. In fact, probably like a little bit too slow, but that's better than this thing just going to absolute insanity. There we go. Beautiful. All right, it can pick them all up, and hopefully we're processing at a greater speed and everything is good. All right, perfect. Crisis averted, other than the part where the we need a magnet. So this chest in the drawer is just going to keep filling up, but not to worry, because I was looking into some of the challenges here in between episodes, and some of these we can actually do, like 256 dirt for 15 silver coins, because let's check what the cost is if we want to get the unbreakable magnet without doing the eternal stella. So that's going to cost 7 gold. Oh god, that's a little pricier than I was hoping, especially since this was only 5 gold and I've gotten a lot less silver since then. This is part of why I wanted to have the silver passively generating in the background, but I mean, that thing broke like so quickly. It's okay. See, look, I've got 256 dirt. Done. Submitted. Thank you for the silver coins. Additionally, one of these, the music disc one, is repeatable. So I need to be looking more often into like the roguelike dungeons and seeing if we can find music discs, because look, this is just instant, right? This is the, right? That could be a gold mine, dude. 32 silver right there. Okay, that's up to 47. And that's 47 stacks of wood that we've essentially done right there. Now, another one that we're able to do, I think, is, I don't know that we have the sulfur, but we could go retrieve that. Oh yeah, there's another one for write a book, write an application explaining why investing in your organization is worth doing. I've got this, guys. I've got this. I got a book and quill here. All right. Now, haven't written an essay in a very long time. I don't even remember what I wrote on my college applications. Turned out not to really matter in the long run. But let's see. Dear fancy investor people, I have the best factory. Nobody else has a better factory. It produces goods and services. 2 things. Can't have typos. Can't have typos. 2 things that people needs. Therefore, you should invest in me. I will make returns of many percent. I think that's a pitch if I've ever seen one. They would be fools to turn that down. Money now. Sign and close. All right. You think it's gonna work? You think they're gonna invest in me? It's also not that much. Like, they're only giving me 15 silver coins. I've already got a good bit of these. Like, you better only be getting like a fraction of percent ownership here. I don't want to relinquish control of my factories to some anonymous organization, nebulous organization. Oh, they invest. Okay. You know what? There you go, everybody. This was a tutorial on how to pitch your project to venture capitalists. Guaranteed funding. Now that's like 62 stacks of wood right there. I mean, pretty impressive stuff. Still not enough to buy a magnet, but hold on, look here, okay? So mineral collection over here. The only thing I'm missing out of this is sulfur, and I feel like I have probably looked it over and just not mined it a million times down underground. Oh, also, look, we got our Invar. This is huge. Wait a second. Also, I'm totally getting sidetracked here. By the way, I need to submit the Invar machine. I used it in order to do this, and it didn't even count. It didn't even count because I never had it in my inventory. I just kept it inside the system. This is the classic snafu that I always run into when it comes to any series with like applied energistics or refined storage. I never actually get the thing in my... I have it. Oh, you want me to show that I've automated that, and there we go. Okay. Hey, it gives us a little bit more Invar, some more of the inductive mechanisms. And now that we've completed chapter 3, we can go back to the overview, and we have 3A. The prospect of teleportation alone might be reason enough to explore that mysterious end dimension. In researching the required technologies, you will find that your hard-earned silver suddenly finds a second use. Oh, good. See, I knew this was gonna ask for silver. My hard-earned silver, yes, my copious amounts of it that I've worked very hard to achieve. I'm glad that I'm gonna need lots of it for chapter 3A. Melting the funds. I'm gonna have to get lots of silver, presumably from the silver that I've been automatically generating so much here. So, not the end. Okay, so we've been to the end. How exciting. God dang it. Oh, God. Yep, silver for melting our coins. Oh boy. Oh, so you actually get the poise stuff. Okay, and then we phytogenic insulator, bro. Phytogenic insulator, I know, is going to be just so huge for us. And got it. So the way that we get the Enderium is induction smelter with... I already have a lot of ender dust that we can... Oh, wait, is that the ender dust that we're using already? Anyway, silver and poise. Guys, we're going to need more silver. Yeah, okay. So not only do I have to spend 7 stacks of it on a magnet that doesn't break, but now I have to generate, oh God. Oh God, dude. Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be a problem for future Jardon. For now, in a brief moment of desperation, I'm gonna go downstairs really quick and see if I can find a thing of sulfur and, yeah. Oh God. Guys, look, I found sulfur. I've just been ignoring it, and I now have learned that that was a mistake. Don't worry, sulfur, I'll never ignore you again. You're gonna make me so rich temporarily until I have to spit. I get 20 sulfur from mining a single thing with fortune? Holy fricked. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's cool. I don't know why I deposited it all. I just need to get all that. And then not only can we get the first, okay, we can also do the plentiful as well. Just gonna get rid of another one of my ruby and sapphire. Oh God. All right. Look at all these fantastic gems. So here we go. We can, do I have to submit each one individually? Come on, can't you just detect that I have them all at once? There we go, silver there, and then submit. Goodbye, ruby, goodbye, sapphire. I'm sorry that you couldn't get turned into a magnet. Alternatively, I could just, you know, go and find more of the X-petrified and make another eternal stella, which, given that we're gonna need a lot of silver, might actually be a better way to go about doing it rather than spending this on a magnet and instead putting it towards chapter 3A. Might be a better way to do it, but I'm gonna make that determination in between episodes. For now, we completed the main line of chapter 3, which is very exciting. It may also be worth a quick little sneaky peek at chapter 4, just to see what we have in store for us. So there's two options here. Interesting, we can do chaotic alchemy, or we can do the straightforward way. We should unlock both of them, and that's a lot of stuff. Okay, well, it's gonna start getting gnarly. So that's what we have to look forward to, everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna refine how we're acquiring silver, open to suggestions. If there is a particular thing we can throw in the phytogenic insulator and start generating from that, that could be a good way to go about doing things. Let me know what you think, but make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more, and that's where we're gonna leave it off. Playlist if you missed any episodes too, in the description, and I'll see you next time. Oh, wait, one more thing, actually. I'm sure you're dying to know, how much silver did we passively generate over the course of my recording this episode? And the answer is not that much. I think it's 9 per ingot, right? So yeah, it's a block's worth of silver. We're gonna need more. It's abundantly clear. See you next time.